It's 8 p.m. and this is Joy News at 8, coming to you live from our studios here in Kokomlemle. In the headlines tonight, the Commission on Judgment Debts continues sitting today with witnesses asking for ample time to provide documents relating to the payment of judgment debt. The Progressive People's Party, PPP, believes it is still a strong political force despite its poor performance in this year's elections. And the December 7 general elections registered substantial casualties in the Ghanaian parliament. We'll find out its impact on the next parliament. In business, 7 days to Christmas, the sale of Christmas decor is catching on after the elections nearly overshadowed it. Elsewhere on the continent, South African President Jacob Zuma has been re-elected leader of the African National Congress, ANC, which is widely tipped to win South Africa's 2014 general elections. All these plus the latest in sports and showbiz coming up in the next hour. Please stay. My name is Gifty Andoapia. Up to mid-January next year to provide those documents.
On the last adjourned date, Chief Director of the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning was asked to produce budget statements and some other documents from the municipal and district assemblies. It was later found out that some of the documents submitted had some mistakes. The Chief Economic Officer, Kojo Ewa Piasa, who represented the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning, admitted they had made a mistake in the submission of some of the documents required by the Commission and submitted documents from 2009 to 2012. The Commissioner then directed that the Ministry submits documents from municipal and district assemblies on judgment debt payments and other claims they were holding on to.
The MDAs could be holding such information about claims which he would not know. So he will request, unless he requests the MDAs to provide information on claims for compensation or judgment debts that they may be holding on to. Do you follow me?
I follow you.
Yes, so we want to direct that you request the MDAs to inform you, give you information about any such claims. If there are any compensation claims or judgment debt claims against the state, which they are still holding on to, claims that have not been paid.
The Chief Cashier, Mark William Atipo, who also represented the Accountant General, tendered in its reports from 2009 to 2012 and pleaded for time to find the other documents required by the Commission.
We have actually tried to retrieve from 2009 up to 2012. We've gone through the records that we have with our records session, and that is what we've retrieved so far. From 2007 downwards, we actually had a lot of challenge. So what we did was we wrote to PRAD for them to make our records that we have with them available to us so that we can inspect and then retrieve all these documents.
Witnesses were discharged by the Commission and asked to produce documents by January next year. Hearing continues Wednesday, with the Executive Secretary of the Lands Commission expected to make an appearance, after which the Commission would go on a Christmas recess and resume on January the 7th, 2013.
Now let's stick with the PPP. A member of the Council of Elders of the Progressive People's Party, Ladi Nylander, has described as disappointing the performance of the party in the just-ended polls. The party polled less than 17,000 votes in all. He said although the party ran third, they were expecting to do much better, a situation the party's running mate Eva Loko blamed on discrepancies. Eva Loko is proposing that the Electoral Commission rather adopt e-voting to enhance the elections.
The objective for this event is to offer the parliamentary group of the PPP an opportunity to interact with our presidential candidate, show PPP's appreciation for the tremendous effort put in to gain the voters' attention, though the campaign was infiltrated by skillful operators of deceit, and to encourage you to strive for the greater heights of your political pursuit. As a parliamentary group, your task will be to keep alive the goal of putting self-reliant PPP members in Parliament and to provide the party with the opportunity to train future leaders in the acquisition of leadership skills. If we have called you here today, it is to show to the people of Ghana that we are a caring family that is here to stay.
The collective effort of everyone, members of our party, traders in the various markets, hairdressers, seamstresses, hawkers, and etc., is what has led to the successful building of the Progressive People's Party. Though we may criticize ourselves for the recent results, there is no doubt that many people are proud of the PPP. The Progressive People's Party has shown that it has come to stay and determined to change the face of politics in Ghana.
Well, let's move away from politics and away from the capital. Now, residents of Bremana Ayipe in Central Region are appealing to the district, regional and central government to come to its aid and construct the road linking Ayipe and Bremana Esikuma to facilitate the smooth transfer of people and goods. The residents believe the bad state of the road is affecting development of the area and economic activities.
Residents of Bremana Ayipe are mainly farmers. Drivers who ply the road are refusing to do so due to the bad nature of the road, thereby hampering the transportation of farm produce to market centers. Drivers often complain of breakdown of their vehicles, especially after using the road, which is riddled with deep, large holes. A resident of Ayipe narrates the hardship they go through.
Eskuma Johnson or Mono, one branch, a signboard in BBC, Ayipe Kuru, the boss, ye banny and Huni Ukra. Promise, and so by ye am I, Albergu Quine, so am I. Okay. Never more trust ungusu.
The dusty nature of the road also compounds the problem of road users and residents. Residents of Bremana Saviour Town, another adjoining town, lacks social amenities. According to them, absence of pipe-borne water, electricity and sanitation facilities have forced many youths to relocate to the urban center. The only wooden toilet facility constructed by the community is in a bad state, leading to 2 kids losing their lives. An opinion leader in the area, Daniel Ampoma Mensah, said they have notified the Bremana Esikuma District Assembly about their plight, but they are yet to get feedback. They hope government will come to their aid soon.
Oh, we're back to the capital. Over here, Italy and Germany have new ambassadors in Ghana. Italy hopes to collaborate with Ghana to deal with border control activities as well as piracy, whilst Germany hopes to collaborate with Ghana to explore renewable energy generation. The ambassadors designate for the 2 countries were at the castle to present their credential letters to President Mahama. The first to present her letter to the president was the Italian ambassador Laura Capino. She brought a congratulatory message from President Giorgio Napolitano for peaceful elections. President Mahama used the opportunity to call for a deeper technical collaboration, especially in the area of peacekeeping training.
We have a historic presence of Italian communities who have been very, very active in business. And I hope that with my stay here, with my mission here, these relations will be moved to an even higher level of the 2 countries.
Continue to expand these bilateral relations especially in the field of governance. You know, GTZ has been doing a fantastic job, and trade between Ghana and Germany has continued to expand. Indeed, if there's one country in which the trade balance is in our favor, it is the trade between Ghana and Germany. We export 29% of our total exports to Germany, and we import 10% of our total imports from Germany.
Laura Capino said Italy welcomes an economic partnership agreement between Ghana and the European Union to build a stronger collaboration against economic and financial crisis. Dr. Renati Shimkohet said despite the economic and financial crisis which has hit the EU, Germany's economy remains sound enough to continue assisting with projects in Ghana.
Considering the perspectives of Ghana, the fact that Ghana has become a middle-income country, that you are assuring tremendous growth rates in your economic performance, I think that our cooperation could be further elaborated on. I mean, going beyond cooperation matters into economic affairs.
The president commended Germany for its role in training parliamentarians and media practitioners through the Friedrich Hebert and Newman Foundations. He invited the two envoys to the upcoming presidential inauguration on 7th January next year. So we welcome them to Ghana, but we'll take a quick break here. We'll return with some more stories. Please don't go away. You're welcome back. Acting Director of Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Jacob Kwabla Adoko, says the port has lost approximately 18,000 Ghana cedis during the 75 days Australian warship Libertad has been berthed at the port. He spoke to Joy News about a UN court order to release the warship. Matilda Dennis has the rest of the story.
The ship ARA Libertad, which arrived in Tema on October 1, on a goodwill mission to train Ghanaian naval personnel, was arrested on the orders of the High Court in a dispute between Argentina and NML Capital, which said the South African country owed it more than $350 million in unpaid bond money. The statement said, inasmuch as Ghana is firmly committed to the rule of law and its constitution, it will also firmly commit to international obligations. The government of Ghana will carefully consider the tribunal's order with a view to ensuring that it is given effect, having regard to the requirements of the constitution and the country's international obligations, the statement said. The Hamburg-based tribunal, in a unanimous decision on Saturday, ordered Ghana to immediately and unconditionally release the Argentine frigate ARA Libertad and ensure that the ARA Libertad commander and crew were able to leave the port of Tema and the maritime areas of jurisdiction of Ghana and the frigate resupplied to the end. The government statement said it is pertinent to recall that the arrest of the Argentine vessel arises from a dispute between Argentina and a private foreign company. The government of Ghana is not a party to that dispute. The Ghana High Court decision to detain the ARA Libertad placed the government of Ghana in a very delicate situation on the account of the strong and positive relations we enjoy with Argentina. The government of Ghana has always maintained it does not consider itself to be in dispute with Argentina. The statement said under Ghana's constitution, the executive branch of government must have regard to the independence of the Ghanaian judiciary. The statement added, Ghana regrets that this matter had come to the International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea. About 280 sailors on the ship flew back home to Argentina on October 24, 2012.
Well, Parliament today continued with a debate on the Health Professions Regulatory Bodies Bill 2011.
The Health Professions Regulatory Bodies Bill 2011 seeks to regulate the various departments and bodies in the health sector. The bill is still at its consideration stage as amendments are being made to some of the clauses. Meanwhile, the dress code of outgoing Member of Parliament for Adentan, Eduasare, was once again questioned by the member for Old Tafo, Dr. Akutuose. After several arguments on the matter, the issue was resolved and public business continued. The House resumes sitting tomorrow.
So we're still in Parliament, and the December 7 general elections registered substantial casualties in the Ghanaian Parliament as several big shots lost their seats. When the next Parliament resumes, it would miss prominent names such as Minister of Employment and Social Welfare Moses Asaga, outspoken Michael Tenyaono, former Information Minister John Tia Akologo, Minister of Lands and Natural Resources Mike Allen Hammer, Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry J.S. Annan, Board Member of the Energy Commission Francis Bawana Dakura, and Kemphe Sofosuwari, Tema Metropolitan Chief Executive, all of the ruling National Democratic Congress. Also on the side of the opposition New Patriotic Party, famous names such as the Deputy Minority Leader Ambrose Derry, former Minister of Ports, Harbours and Authority and Railways Professor Amia Ekunfi, former Energy Minister Kofi Ada, Catherine Afeku of the Evalu Jura constituency, and Samuel Obodai of the Aguna West constituency had their seat snatched from them. The Convention People's Party lost its only parliamentary seat, which was being held by Samia Nkrumah, the Member of Parliament for the Jomro constituency in the Western region and daughter of Ghana's first President, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
It's painful that such characters or such individuals who were impacting so much in the lawmaking process in Parliament have lost out, have lost their elections. But for Ambrose, for the position, for the person coming to replace him, we have an equally stalwart individual who, in his own right, is as good as Ambrose. He's a lawyer of distinction. You know him. Mr. Kumbo, Honorable Kumbo, is an individual who has done so much, has left a good impression in the minds of people. There's no doubt at all about his legal capabilities. Taught in the law school, has been teaching in the law school, and is now Attorney General and Minister of Justice. He's a lawyer of no mean repute at all. But it doesn't take away the fact that if we had Ambrose also still in the front bench, he would have been making, good contributions to Parliament. Fortunately, that is our democracy, and that is what we are paying for. And you can't have two people in one seat, and the people will have to make a choice.
And I believe that these new guys coming, it will take them a while to really settle in, but it calls for real humility. It doesn't really matter where you come from and your background. You need to be humble enough to learn the parliamentary processes. Otherwise, you'll be out of order, or you find yourself not even be relevant at all. And that may affect or undermine your quality among others. So really, when you have high attrition rates, the institution will always go back, and it staggers. It doesn't really build what we call a path dependency that every institution will want. So that is worrying. But you can't blame people. Individuals want economic mediators who can really intercede between them and the national government for the good things of life. So if they think that an MP is not performing for whatever reason, they are not performing, they are so prerogative. The people decide that we want this person to lead us. That's it. And once they decide, you have no choice in the matter but to exit.
And that goes also with the others, who lost their seats. Moses Asaga is an energy expert. He's a finance. He knows a lot about finance. He was contributing generously whenever there was set kind of arguments. You know about that. John Tia is a repository of knowledge about our relation with the public and our relation with government. And Joseph Edu and all the others. Professor Akronfi, who is an expert in CV, examining members of the public who are appointed to hold various positions, and his contribution, his technical contribution about all that. But overall, these are the things that we should expect in any democracy.
That can address the problems of society. The quality of representation there is very important. Apart from the quality, you are also looking at longevity of service. Now, sometimes the more people stay in Parliament, and if they are learning, and they are prepared to build capacity for themselves, they develop capacity to be able to really impact positively on the laws and so on. So when you have some people who have actually built that capacity over time losing their seat. It is worrying. Worrying in the sense that we will need people with what we call the right institutional memory to be able to pass very good laws. It doesn't mean that those who are coming will not be able to measure measure. What will happen is that they have to learn quickly, because it's an institution which actually functions based on rules and regulations and so on, the procedures and among others. So we realize that the standing orders is critical, and you need to be able to master the parliamentary practices, etc., to be able to know when you have to contribute, when you don't have to contribute, how do you catch the speaker's eye, among others. So, and of course, when you go to the committee rooms where the real work of parliament is done, normally we say that Parliament in session is Parliament at public exhibition, but Parliament in the committee rooms is actually Parliament at work. So how do you bring your experience and expertise and competencies to bear on lawmaking, among others? That also depends on your ability, your level of education, your experience over time, and then your ability even to learn on the job.
Well, that was a long, necessary conversation on the bigwigs who are falling out of Parliament, and we wish them well. Moving on with some other stories, some tourist sites may not be receiving much attention, but they are the ones that really tell the story of what Ghana used to be and what it is now. From the time of colonization to its present state of today, many might have forgotten, but today architects from Switzerland are in the country to learn about the history of Ghana and revive those stories again. Archi Africa, the network connection professionals, scholars and others interested in the African-built environment, today toured the streets of Accra with some architects from Switzerland to learn about the history of the country. The tour started from the Independence Square and ended at the Kwame Nkrumah Museum. Former Accra Mayor Nat Nunu Amatefio, who was present during the tour, said it was to educate the architects about Ghana's history. According to him, they were in the country for the Global Holcim Awards, which comes off on Friday, but currently heading towards Ouagadougou in Burkina Faso.
Archi Africa is a group of architects trying to give African architecture a more international prominence. So this is part of the effort we are making. There is an architect called Kerry, who we shall be hosting next week here in Accra, and rewarding him, recognizing his contributions to contemporary African architecture. So they are going over to Burkina Faso, where Kerry lives, to look at some of his works.
Joy News spoke with some of them.
We may not see the historical or the interesting places in Accra, but mostly, tracing the historical heritage of Accra, which I think is very special, because these sorts of stories about places exist in people's minds and may not come out. I mean, there's not many books that you can read about Accra and places in Accra.
It's the smile of the people. We Europeans have to learn a lot about smiling. And when I look how the kids are just excited to see foreigners coming, visiting them, it gives you a good feeling.
The Global Holcim Awards gold winner for 2012 will be awarded to Diabedo Francis Kere, a Burkinabe architect who has received Global Holcim Awards from more than 6,000 competitions. Welcome to the Business Report. ARB Apex Bank, in collaboration with the Danish government through Danish International Development Agency, DANIDA, has established a new project to assist rural and community banks. This was disclosed in a message by the acting managing director of ARB Apex Bank Limited, Duke Osamdodu, during the 23rd annual general meeting of the Upper Amenfi Rural Bank Limited.
The project consists of 4 key components, namely the Rural Finance Wholesale Fund, the Measure Fund, capacity building support for rural banking, and human resource development of the ARB Apex Bank. This project seeks to address the challenges of short-term lending of rural community banks by providing funds for long-term lending to their customers, as well as assist rural banks that intend to merge procurement consultancy services to enable them carry out payment for the cost of such services.
The Apex, in collaboration with the Danish government, through its development agency, Danida, has established a new project to assist rural banks in various ways. The Rural Finance Wholesale Fund is intended to address the issue of short-term lending of RCBs by providing funds for long-term lending to their customers, enabling the bank grant loans with a tenor exceeding 18 months but not exceeding 5 years.
The program is also aimed at upgrading the performance of rural bank staff by providing solutions to their capacity building requirements through programs like attachments, study visits, seminars, and technical assistance. The 23rd Annual General Meeting, which marks the bank's 25th anniversary, highlighted the achievements of Upper Menfi Rural Bank, as well as new developments instituted by Apex Bank in support towards the rural banking sector. The event was also used to commission the head office building of the bank.
So let's move to the Ashanti region now. The Kumasi Airport has been closed for operations from today. Joy Business learns the closure of the airport is to allow for some repair works to be carried out on the runway. Managers of the airport took the decision after a meeting with domestic airline operators last Friday. Sources say the airport would be reopened for traffic on Wednesday, adding that minor works at the airport would be undertaken at night throughout next year. This is the second time this year that the airport is being closed for major repair works. Some disappointment for travelers there, but a U.S. private equity firm has said it will sell its stake in the maker of the AR-15 rifle, the weapon used in the Newtown school shootings. Cerberus Capital Management's move came after pressure from one of its own biggest investors, the California State Teachers. Well, let's move on with other stories now. President John Dramani Mahama has appointed 7 new heads of Ghana's diplomatic missions abroad. The new ambassadors and high commissioners will be representing Ghana in Liberia, Israel, Ethiopia, Japan, Switzerland, Iran, and Belgium.
That I will at all times.
Kojo Esimin Wadie will be representing the country in Liberia. Ernest Sowate Lomote goes to Israel, whilst Albert Francis Yankee takes on Ethiopia and the African Union. Edmond Kofi Day for Japan. Sami P. Adiko will be stationed in Switzerland and also represents Ghana at the UN office in Switzerland, as Alhaji Bawa Gilbert Ayembila goes to Iran and Morgan Adokwe Brown goes to Belgium.
The major pillar of Ghana's the Better Ghana agenda is a strong, resilient economy that is expected to produce jobs for the millions of our citizens, particularly the young ones. And therefore, you are required to play the role, your roles through the instrumentality of economic diplomacy to attract into our country our fair share of foreign direct investment. You are required to maintain and extend existing markets and even create new ones. You are required to popularize made in Ghana goods.
We would exploit the positive perception of Ghana to strengthen bilateral relations with our host countries, use economic diplomacy to expand markets for Ghanaian products, source for foreign direct investments into various sectors of the economy, and promote Ghana as a preferred destination for tourism.
President John Dramani Mahama asked them to be a focal point to advance Ghana's interest and promote the image of Ghana.
Certainly in any posting that you're going to, there will be a Ghanaian population. And so I'd want you to have an open-hearted attitude towards Ghanaians wherever you meet them in your postings, whether they're legally resident or non-legally resident, and give them whatever consular support that they deserve.
Also at the castle was the bereaved family of former Member of Parliament for Korle Klottey, David Lamptey. They were there to officially announce his death and funeral arrangement. David Lamte, who died at the 37 Military Hospital after a short ailment, was also the owner of Sidalco Company Limited and XYZ Radio. His final funeral rites will be held on 2nd February 2013. President Mahama assured the family of government and party support in their difficult moment.
For sports, my name is Rashidat Kadiri. Good evening. Premier League side Ashanti Gold SC have terminated the contract of head coach Yawa Champon, making him the fourth casualty of the 2012-2013 Premier League season. Management arrived at the decision to abrogate the contract of the former international and his assistant Kamal Dini this morning due to Ash Gold's poor show in the Premier League so far. Yawa Champon joined the team in 2011 as an assistant coach and was subsequently elevated to act in the capacity of head coach on December 10 the same year, following the departure of David Duncan. The 2012 FA Cup losing finalists have lost 3, won 4 and drawn 4 of their 11 outings, occupying the 6th position on the league log with 16 points. And Chief Executive Officer of the club, Kujo Fiano, confirms Ash Gold will travel to Bekwai to play New Edibiase in their 12th week fixture, and assistant coach Kofi Amwako will take temporary charge of the team. Away from that, the creme de la creme of the African football fraternity will converge in Ghana, Ghana's capital, Accra, for the Glow Cup Awards on Thursday, December 20, at the banquet hall of the State House. 3 of the continent's best football players will vie for Africa's biggest award for their contribution to their respective countries and professional clubs. Cameroon and Barcelona midfielder Alexander Song will battle it out with Ivorian duo of Yaya Toure and Didier Drogba, who play for Manchester City and Shanghai Shenhua respectively. Midfielder Yaya Toure is the current holder of the accolade. So, earlier today, the Joy Sports wagon hit the streets of Accra to find out who amongst the 3 players will be Africa's best player for the year 2012.
Well, I think my pick will be Drogba because over the seasons he's played a much more influential role with his club, be it his former club, Chelsea. He's been able to win a Champions League, and he played a very important role in the whole process. So I think I'll go for Drogba.
Okay, I'll go for Didier Drogba because I've been following him with keen interest when he played with Chelsea, and upon his skills, his goals and everything. It's kind of cool, so I think...
Well, I think Drogba stands tall among the 3, so he has a better chance of winning.
I'll give it to Yaya Toure because Yaya Toure is a man who always plays football. He's always on the field of play. But Drogba, I don't know because he's not like before. He used to be with Chelsea. But Yaya Toure is always on the field playing. So that's the main reason why we have to vote him.
I believe Yaya Toure will win for the second time. He won last year. He's playing very well. He's in very good form. That, to me, that's how I see him, and I believe he's going to win.
At their performance in this year, you could see that both of them stand a chance of winning this year's World Cup Awards. But I personally believe Didier Drogba stands favorite of winning this trophy because both Man City and then Chelsea competed in the UEFA Championship or Champions League. But unfortunately for Man City, where Drogba managed to help Chelsea to win the UEFA Champions League. Even his goal was the winning goal for Chelsea to lift the trophy. So left with me alone. Both players stands the chance of winning it, but Didier Drogba stands tall.
So that would actually be decided by GLOW and the Confederation of African Football, CAF, on December 20 at the State House here in Accra. Now, join the sports team tomorrow, Wednesday, for the 2nd edition of the 2013 AFCON Diaries. We start airing at 7 and we end at 8. It will be on TV on your Joy Sports channel, on radio on Joy 99.7 FM, and we'll be streaming live on myjoyonline.com. Before I Check out and make way for entertainment news with Gladys Osei-Redu. Liberty Professionals goalkeeper Daniel Ejay has set his sights on winning a 5th gold medal for Ghana as he plans to help the Black Stars win the 2013 African Nations Cup. The 22-year-old won 4 gold in the he won gold in for Ghana in the 2009 West African and African as well as World Youth Championships. He captained the Black Meteors to win gold at the All Africa Games in Maputo last year. Daniel Ejay tells Joy Sports about his ambitions of helping Ghana to win the 2013 Cup of Nations in South Africa next year as the Black Stars prepare to battle 15 other countries for the crown.
No, I always want to be in the post because that's my potential. That's what I've always dreamed for. But if the coaches say I should sit at the bench and what the one who will keep, I'll support him. But my intention to start for the nation because I'm up and coming. You can see what I'm doing for Liberty and what I've done so far for the nation as well. Because my record as a national goalkeeper is more big. So I'm hoping to be in the post, but why not? If they say I should sit at the bench, I will support anyone who will be in the post because we have to be together and work together and fight for the nation and bring trophies to the nation as well.
To have you join us on Showbiz Tonight. My name is Gladys Osei-Redu, and Showbiz Tonight, Ghanaian actress Yvonne Okoro has joined the growing list of local actors picking up extra roles behind the scenes. She has combined forces with renowned Ghanaian filmmaker Shirley Trampin-Manso to produce Contract, a romantic comedy featuring some of Africa's finest actors.
Africa's finest crop of actors hit the silver screens later this month in a movie produced by Ghanaian actress Yvonne Okoro. The movie, titled Contract, stars one of South Africa's finest actors, Homla Dandela, and Nigeria's Benjamin Joseph, among a host of other local actors. Contract tells the story of a successful 40-year-old bachelor and businessman, Peter Popolampo, played by Homla, who sticks to his adamant rule of non-committal despite his mother's persistent attempts to get him to settle down. Peter, however, desires to have a child and wants a woman who will just have his child and disappear. He ends up with Abuna Boateng, played by Yvonne Okoro, a crude but clever local girl who is anything but impressed with Peter's affluence. Well, Peter's lawyer has put together a definitive contract spelling out the do's and don'ts of bearing Peter Popolampo's child. And these two opposite persons must make sure they do not kill each other until the child is born. Will they survive? The details will be known on December 28 when the movie is premiered at the National Theatre here in Accra.
Contract, you drew up the contract! Just in case you're in doubt, Shirley Trampin-Manso is formerly Shirley Frimpong-Manso. Moving on, Ghanaian fastest rapper Sarkodie is giving a regional slant to what has become his annual Christmas Day show, Rapperholic. He has added a Nigerian act to the list of artists built to perform at this year's Rapperholic concert.
After a successful show last year, award-winning Ghanaian rapper Sarkodie is gearing up for the second edition of his Rapperholic concert. The concert, scheduled for Christmas Day at the Dome of the Accra International Conference Center, will this year feature Nigerian rapper Ice Prince, among a host of other local acts such as Manifest and EL. Organizers say all is set for what will be the biggest event to be held this Yuletide. This year's concert will also witness the launching of Sarkodie's third studio album.
Right, so this is where we end Showbiz Tonight. I'm handing over to my colleague Gifty Ando Apia. My name has been Gladys Osei-Redu.
Well, 7 days to go, and gradually the essence of Christmas is catching on after the elections nearly overshadowed it. Many are simply grateful the elections are behind us and are looking forward to a celebratory Christmas and a happy New Year. Joy News has been finding out how people plan to celebrate the birth of Christ and also the part decorations and hampers play during this season.
I really want to enjoy this Christmas. So elections has nothing to do with my Christmas. I wasn't even thinking about it. I've decorated my house. My room is looking very bright for Christmas and all that. So I'm looking forward to it. Merry Christmas to every Ghanaian and a prosperous New Year to every Ghanaian.
If customers or friends or loved ones are ready to give me hampers, I'll receive it.
When we were kids, whenever we hear Christmas, it's all about excitement, it's all about joy. We all remember the birth of Christ. We all have fun with our family. So the whole excitement, the whole thing about Christmas for me is have fun with your families, go around, meet people, meet friends, and just have fun. I'm about to decorate my house and I'm about to give out hampers.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and we wish peace to Ghana.
I have church activities to attend. Yeah, like music concert, that is on the 24th, and other good programs to attend. I decorated my house with balloons, ribbons, Christmas trees, and what have you. If God has given us life, then everything is possible. So I'm urging everybody to attend church on the Christmas day and dedicate their lives to Christ.
Well, this is how we end the bulletin for tonight. But before we go, the opposition New Patriotic Party this morning embarked on a peace march for justice in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi. The march was aimed at getting the Electoral Commission to effect changes in what the MPP deems discrepancies in results of some constituencies in the region. My name has been Gifty Ando Apia. Many thanks for staying with us. Join us again at 11. Have a good evening.